So I'm going to start off really, really hot on this topic because I'm very, very passionate about it. Credit cards. So what I think is that most people don't really need to have a credit card and should never have a credit card. They don't deserve one. And especially now with the latest numbers that came out, I think the credit card debts are up to like 1.1 trillion or 1.2 trillion. I think almost somewhere over there, and that just shows you that people are not financially responsible to own a credit card. And what I tell people all the time, that if you can't pay off your credit card in full by the end of the month, then you should not buy that item. Whatever you purchase in, I don't care. A new pair of shoes, a shirt, glasses, a fridge. Whatever you're buying, you could just delay that purchase until you have the full amount to pay the credit card in full by the end of the month. Otherwise, you get fucking raped with the interest rates. They're at 27%, 30%, 24% sometimes if you're lucky. That's crazy amount to pay in interest. So if you borrow $1,000 and they want you to pay it over like 5 years or something, you know what you're paying them back? You're paying them back $4,000 or $5,000 basically if you make the minimum payments. So like I said, most people, you should always like I've owned credit cards for about, I'll say 18 years now. Yeah, 18 years. And I've only had to pay interest one time in my entire life, and I only paid it for 1 month because I was cornered into it. I owed a lot of property taxes, and they were due by the end of that month, and I was refinancing the property, so I had some money coming in, and I had to pay off like $50,000 in the property taxes, or the late payment fee for the property taxes. If I passed a certain date, it would have been I think 10%. So I did my math, and I was like, you know what? If I'm paying 24% in interest on a credit card, that's 2% a month. So if I use my credit card to make this one payment until I get the refinance money so I could just pay it off, I was like, you know what, that's 2%. Instead of paying 10% penalty, let me just pay 2% on my credit card. And that's what I did. And I paid it off right away. When I got the money, I paid it off right away, $50,000. And that was the only time that I had to do it. But otherwise, I would have never paid a penny in credit card interest. So like I said, and the other thing is, a lot of people when they make credit card purchases, to be honest with you, they don't need what they're buying. They just think it's a piece of plastic or whatever it's made of right now. They think it's because they could just swipe it and they can't see the cash that's coming out of their pocket. That makes them feel better. But that's not the truth. The truth is that you're getting, like I said, you're getting that high interest rate. Yeah, no pun intended. Well, pun intended actually. Yeah. So here's the other thing. There are a lot of people that have existing debt already. They owe a lot of money to let's say different credit cards, and what they do is they just pay off one credit card with the other. They apply for a new one. They give you like a 0 interest rate if you transfer your balance to them and stuff like that for like 15 months or 12 months or whatever it is. And then they do that, and then they add more debt to that new card, and they keep doing that forever. So if you already have existing debt, why should you should resolve that issue first and then move on to the next one. You should not just borrow more money. It's like it makes no sense financially. Okay, yeah. So that's the other point is the overspending risk. If you like I said, once you see that credit card, you think of it as a piece of plastic. You don't actually see the cash coming out of your wallet and paying it. So it's like it makes you feel a little bit less guilty about making those purchases. But like I said, that's not a fact because you still have to pay that balance off, or you're stuck with it for the rest of your life. And a lot of people are. And then what else? So yeah, like I said, and then the other thing, the main issue is, which is what I started with, and that's why I'm very, very passionate about this topic. It's it's the people have no discipline. They lack discipline. They lack financial discipline to manage their lives. That's most people, especially in the West, to be honest with you. In the East is a little bit less. But in the West, West Europe, the U.S., Canada, Australia, these countries, they really they've never struggled in their lives. They've never had to deal with tough situations, most of them. So they don't really they don't have appreciation or respect for money. Where I come from, I came from absolutely nothing. Like sometimes we couldn't even afford to buy food. And I really mean it. Like we had no food at the house. So sometimes I would go to school hungry when I was a kid. And that's fine. That taught me a lot, to be honest with you. Because that made me financially responsible, and now I don't make those mistakes that my parents didn't. We didn't even have credit cards in Iraq, so that wasn't an issue. But like I said, the financial responsibility part is a huge part that you should absolutely. I think that should be taught in schools, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know why don't we have a subject. We have a lot of subjects that are fucking nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Like DEI and stuff. They teach you that stuff, which makes no sense. Or race, the great race theory, or something like that. You should teach kids financial responsibility. That should be a subject in school. And you should, you see all of these like athletes and celebrities and actors and stuff. They make hundreds of millions of dollars, and then 5 years after retirement, or 3 years after retirement, or 10 years after retirement, they're gone. They're bankrupt. Why is that? Because they were never taught how to manage their money. And like Mike Tyson says, money management is an art. So it's an art that's either acquired, which is like I said, it could be taught, but it's very hard, because if you're not disciplined from within, you can't really manage money. But if you're like I said, if you're taught that subject, you might be able to manage it a little bit. Because I mean, look, if I make $100 million, if I only invest 10% of that, what I'm saying, and spend the other 90%, I could still survive off of that $10 million investment. If that $10 million is producing 10%, or let's say it's producing not even 10%, let's say it's producing 5%, every year, that's $500K. You could live comfortably with $500,000, a year. So, like I said, and just a thought to put out there. And if you're one of the 3 people that are gonna watch this video, you should like it and share it with people that might benefit from it.